So the opening shots to our music video were time lapses, and we thought for using like establishing shots, it would be able to show the location, and this would be relatable for our target audience, and also it would be able to connote the paradise for our protagonist.
We also had quite a bit of trouble trying to find the right typography for our music video. We ended up having the bright, bold, black and yellow writing. This is to stand out, so that there is no legibility issues.
The black and white gradient shown throughout all these narrative shots is to signify nostalgia between the two characters and to really highlight this is in the past and there is something to come in the future.
Yeah, so a lot of the shots we used at this point were mid shots and long shots, as we thought it'd be good to explore the body language and the way they act together and see the emotion that they have to each other. So once we've got to this bit, we've got Toby as the character, and we've juxtaposed like the colour of his images to the black and white gradient, as it allows us to signify that it's a separate entity and that he's a guardian angel to the abusive relationship.
Adding on from that, we thought that Toby's performance had drastically increased in how well he had from filming day 1 to filming day 7. Really, the first couple of shots that we had in filming day 1, we had to get rid of. He just wasn't comfortable enough. Didn't look like he was just an actual artist, and so we had to get rid of him. But by the end, obviously, you can see that he's quite more comfortable, and also using the idea of fault beats, that he's able to look as if he's actually singing the music video.
The composition of each shot was chosen for a specific reason. Some shots were chosen with Big Ben in the background to show the passage of time. Some were shown with him at the left to show that he was separate. One shot in particular is one of him in the tunnel, which shows that he is the light to the girl's future, and he will lead her from the darkness into the light.
So through some of the shots, we aim to create a voyeuristic view of the artist towards the couple, as it allows us to really signify how they're separate and he's watching over them.
The use of the red hue really signifies sort of juxtaposes what happens in these scenes with the domestic abuse, because red is normally associated with love, and of course domestic abuse isn't really like love in a sense.
So throughout this part, we tried to use more close-ups and more mid-shots, as we thought this would heighten the emotion that we could have in the narrative.
This shot in particular shows her journey throughout the music video, and in fact her life, from the darkness into the light, and the colour changing from the blue hue to the red hue really shows her decision being made and that happiness will come eventually.
So once we get to this bit, we really see Toby getting into his element and having the shots of his body language from mid-shots and being able to see the raw emotion of him as a guardian angel, seeing the character progress.
The use of cutting to black throughout the narratives really creates a thought beat within the music, because it hits on every time almost as paradise, creating an image in the audience's head that they can follow throughout.
We used the match on action, as this allowed us to show like her emotion and her progression of being submissive to being more dominant in the relationship and being able to leave by herself.
These shots signify that her remembering the good and bad times, shown both by the yellow hue now and the red hue of darkness, and the yellow of course signifying past and happiness.
So we used a stabiliser on some of the shots to make it more effective, and we then used more effects to create the fade out of Toby's character, which really signifies how he was just a guardian angel and he was able to carry her to a path to being a liberated and self-actualised character.